the two standards are those for the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and the HUD. By the way, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac is one, HUD is another one, not to be confused. And so, if we just boil it down to those two, and really the HUD 9991 is the one that's come out most recently, and that's really, I think, the standard. That's the one that, on the research I've done, Joe, what I've found, what I've read through different lender trade associations, is they say that form is what's used to close and sell, by the way, 95% of all loans, whether they're conventional or backed by the government. So, if you can fund a loan and then that loan can be sold because it was met by the HUD 9991 requirements, then why do you need to have any other forms? You really don't. And no, is that form perfect? No, not at all. But if you only have one form, you can have your attorney review it.
But it's a lot
closer than having different ones.
Is it needed? Is that form by the government? Why would it be? Why is it there? Why do we do it? Is it needed for the transaction, and why? Well, it's government backed, right? The government backs these loans. Did I just answer my question? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What? And they're going to have a form, but the government's not going to give you a 10-page form necessarily.
No.
They're just going to do the bare minimum. So in their mind's eye, would you agree with this statement that form is what's needed? That has to be done. That is a requirement. Then if it's required, and they probably don't care how you give it to them as long as they have it. So we augment the form. And as long as those bare minimum questions are maybe the first 4 or 5 questions of our form, I bet you it's that way. And we get them to sign it. The manager has to sign it, and they intimidate them to do it. Then they're covering themselves when you do it. I just keep saying why. And I got to loop back to that why. I don't want to frustrate you, man, but the why behind it is really what we're talking about. We could join our competitors and go, yeah, let's go make money, because there's money to be made. We could deal with it. But I think our philosophy of not taking that on, though we think in the short term might be, wow, we're losing out. And in the long term, for our clients, they are protected. We just look away from it and just move down the road. And our clients, we deal with some of the real pushy lenders in specific ways. We do not take away their right to do it. I've seen our site enable it, though we keep going, please don't do it. Please don't do it. But there are some deals that they'll do it because some of these lenders are just relentless. Yeah. They're beyond relentless.
Yeah.
So I know I said a lot. I'll let you kind of.
No, you're absolutely right. In fact, it's so much so that I talked with one management company owner who actually was an attorney and just starting a management company. And we had this conversation, and she said to me, I would rather just fill out the custom forms so I don't have to deal with the backlash and the pressure from these lenders. And I said, but you realize the risk? And she said, yeah, I realize the risk. But I'm
like, she's an attorney.
That's crazy.
And she's an attorney.
She's an attorney,
right? They are.
Right.
And she's an attorney. Yeah.
That's how pushy the lenders are with, I got to have my form and I got to have this. It's crazy.
And she knows better because she's an attorney, and she's still doing it. That makes the point. And I say, just don't do it. And I think the people that our customers that go, yeah, you know what, you're right. They really almost rest easy in a way. They make the money they make on the stuff they can charge and the stuff they put the minimal work in, and it becomes real balance in that part of the business. So they don't have to even think about it. But I don't think there's a law that mandates them to do it. When it happens, we're ready to do it. But I don't think a law will be mandated to protect the lenders. I don't think people look at them as they need protecting. Well, what protecting is the consumer.
Until they get their lobbyists out there, and then then who knows what can happen with laws. But yeah, so you're right. There are no laws that require filling out any. We tell our clients you should not fill out custom forms at all. What we recommend and what we have available through GetDocs now is we have those two forms just talked about, the Fannie Mae Freddie Mac, and we have the HUD 9991, and those are kept current. When they have a change, we update it, and those are the ones that even they're not perfect, but they're not crazy like some of these lenders, like you said, the 5 and 6 page ones that we see.